When Pitch Black launches on July 16th in Pokemon TCG Live, it will be headlined by Mega Darkrai EX, who was just revealed in Japan. Their version of Pitch Black, Abyss Eye, is out on May 22nd, so we'll get regular card reveals over the next few weeks. Just like Perfect Order and Chaos Rising, which is only a month away, the set size will be in the 80s, continuing the disappointing trend. But enough good news, let's get to the doom and gloom. As the name suggests, Pitch Black will have a focus on dark types. Thanks to translations by Pokebeach, we know that Mega Darkrai has a super powerful attack able to one-shot any Pokemon in the entire freaking game. First up though, for 2 Darkness it does 110 base damage. But if anyone on your bench has a damage counter that's up to 220, a perfect number for Fezandipiti, Meowth, Clefairy, and every Ogerpon. While Risty Ruins might be your initial thought, remember that it doesn't affect dark types. Which is fine, because you pretty much have to pair Mega Darkrai with Toxtricity anyway. Use its ability to accelerate any energy to a bench dark type, damaging them in the process, and you're good to go. Though if you're worried, Risty Ruins with Monkey Dory is always an option. But the main event here is Abyss Eye. For 3 Darkness, Mega Darkrai instantly KOs their active if it's affected by a status condition. So it's basically Mega Absol without the math. If your feet just started sweating in a bad way, thinking Dangerous Laser has to be the ace spec, don't worry, help is on the way. Boomers will remember a tool card called Ear-Ringing Bell from the Sun and Moon days. It's back as an item called Dark Bell, confusing both actives provided they aren't dark types. So accelerate a few times with Toxtricity, ring the bell, and now everything's fair game. Of course, with dark types immune to this item, you won't be saved by the bell in a mirror match. Along with Dangerous Laser, there's a couple other options. The new Quillfish in Chaos Rising poisons on contact with its ability, making it perfect. Baby Petulant and Brute Bonnet poison with their attacks. But Quillfish is stronger since they get poisoned after their turn, meaning they don't get a chance to cure the status by switching or evolving. Additionally, you can always chuck in a copy of Volcanion EX to burn. It'll gum up the board, sure, but thanks to Petulant EX, switching it out is easier than licking your own toes. The same strategy can be used with Shiinotic, putting them to sleep, or Macargo to burn them on their turn if they move their active. Just remember that Poison and Confusion don't heal between turns, making them the superior status conditions. Burn and Sleep are based on coin flips during checkup, so it's 50-50 whether they stick. Or if you're playing on TCG Live, 70-30. Now, before Mega Darkrai was ever announced, I said it would struggle due to the fact that its weakness would be either Grass or Fighting. Well, I guess Grass is a better weakness when everyone's playing Mega Lucario, but it means you basically auto-lose to any Teal Mask Ogerpon deck. Same with Beedrill or Boliva, which is going to be popular come Chaos Rising. And let's not talk about the Thwacky Dipplin matchup. The problems with Darkrai don't end there. If Abyss Eye ends up being a tier 1 attack, people will just start playing Festival Grounds. As long as they have energy attached, it makes them immune to status conditions. To make matters worse, Water is getting Bubble Water energy next month. Attach it, they can't be affected by status conditions. Worst of all, there's Mist energy and Rocky Fighting energy. People are playing both of these to counter Alakazam, meaning Abyss Eye's one-hit KO effect gets caught in the crossfire. So Darkrai will have to run counter stadiums in either Enhanced Hammer or Mega Dragology, which is less than ideal. And let's not forget about how popular Ogerpon has become lately. They just have to KO 2 Mega Darkrai to win, hitting with weakness while you have to dispatch 3 Ogerpon. Except Darkrai relies on multiple stage 1s for energy acceleration while Ogerpon gets itself off. It's tough to give my toes to Mega Darkrai mainly because I don't know if it has a mouth. Abyss Eye is one of the strongest attacks in the game, instantly KOing anything after you ring a bell. But unlike Mega Absol, who can be put in a deck with Crispin and Energy Switch and Monkey Dory, Mega Darkrai really only works with Toxtricity. Not to mention Absol's other attack is better, discarding a card from their hand. And let's not forget that Abyss Eye is pretty close to Roaring Moon EX's attack, except Angry Salamence's usage dropped prior to rotation. Still, I'll give Mega Darkrai EX 3 toes out of 5 for now, even if I think it's a weaker imitation of Mega Absol. The second to last type-specific special energy for 2026, Shadow Darkness energy, is fine. Attach it to a dark type, they're safe from damage while on the bench. Not damage counters, mind you, so Dragapult's still a huge threat. And if you don't know the difference between damage and damage counters, watch my 10 mistakes new players make video, because I see posts about this every week. Basically, Shadow Energy is a souped-up Shaman in energy form. Things like Wellspring Mask Ogerpon, Mega Starmie, and Arboliva will hate this card. Unless they start playing Enhanced Hammer. But it is a way to keep a Fezandipiti EX protected in a non-dark deck. Though if you really want all your bench Pokemon to stay safe, just run Rabsca. Because remember, Shaman only protects non-EXs. Rabsca protects everybody while also blocking effects of attacks like Phantom Dive. That seems a lot stronger than jamming in a random off-type special energy to maybe save your Fez. The only remaining type for a special energy is Lightning, which will probably also be in Pitch Black. Previously, we saw Telepathic growing in Rocky in perfect order, and Chaos Rising next month will add Bubble, Magnet, and Nitro. Shadow Darkness is nowhere near as good as Telepathic, but it's a hell of a lot better than Nitro Circus. An instant improvement over that cocky Sableye who requires a Stage 2 in play, Pitch Black's Chi-Yu does 110 damage for a single Darkness. It does need to have 2 damage counters on it though, which just so happens to be the exact amount Toxtricity puts on someone with its ability. While Chi-Yu doesn't hit for weakness, you're already one-shotting Monkey Dory, and things like Solrock and Lunatone and Dreepy and Dracloak and Shaman and so many others are already in range. Plus, it's weak to grass. So if they hit into it with Badoo, they'll spiral with Envy as you deal 110 damage next turn for no effort. My guess is that if Mega Darkrai ends up being good, Chi-Yu will have some sort of place alongside it. I can't say the same about Malamar. Darkrai will probably only run 2 copies of Dark Bell using Petrol to find them. Malamar needs 4. If their active is confused, Brain Crush does 130 damage for a single Darkness. If they're not confused, Malamar is more useless than a male Salandit. Honestly, I'm not even sure this can be a road deck. 130 damage is too low on a stage 1, especially when we're about to have Slowking dealing 300 damage regularly. I know it was rude to save this for last, but the card isn't exactly a headline grabber. Zerude's first attack does 30 to their active and 30 to one of your bench Pokemon. Yeah, it can be fun with Chi-Yu or Monkey Dory while you KO a Badoo. Or it could lose you the game against Dragapult because you help them spread your cheeks. Shadow Whip, meanwhile, does 170 damage if you have Shadow Darkness energy on a bench Pokemon. I know it isn't seen much play, but Seviper is so much better. You're not playing a Zerude Toxtricity deck. You're playing a Mega Darkrai or Mega Absol Dark Box deck. Seviper does 240 damage if you have a Mega in play for the same 3 Darkness energy cost. Just go that route instead. Though, imagine how hilarious it'll be to see a Mega Zygarde player flip heads on someone with Shadow Energy, then immediately concede. It'll be priceless, just like hitting that subscribe button, which costs nothing. Those weren't the only cards revealed today in Japan. We also learned of a couple new gym promos, which are almost always terrible. Apparently, the Pokemon Company uses the same strategy I do for asking women out on a date when it comes to designing their cards. If at first you don't succeed, keep doing the same thing and hope it eventually works. Following in the footsteps of Tatsugiri EX and Reuniclus, Mega Delphox EX looks at the top 9 cards of your deck. You can then put any Pokemon you find there directly into play, be they basic, stage 1, or stage 2. Unfortunately, this has always been more of a fun strategy rather than a viable one. The advantage Mega Delphox has over the others is the baby Delphox coming in Chaos Rising. It can draw you up to 7 and take huge one-shots if there's a ton of energy in play. But Mega Delphox is a 3-prize stage 2. So you'll have to wait at least a turn to get it into play. In that time, a Solrock has already KO'd a Fennekin. And after you launch Trick Portal, dealing 0 damage, Mega Lucario will one-shot the Hot Fox after attaching a Maximum Belt and drinking a bottle of Gatorade. Mega Delphox does have an actual attack, dealing just 200 damage for 3 energy, burning and confusing in the process. Yeah, I'd rather play Salazzle EX. If you're wondering when Mega Delphox will come out in English, don't clench your cheeks too hard. It probably won't arrive until September at the earliest, with November a possibility as well. To wrap up this week's reveals, remember Picnic Basket? Grisham is that, except a supporter. The only reason healing your opponent's Pokemon was a good thing is because it weakened Monkey Dory. But wasting your supporter? That seems horrible when Boss's hors d'oeuvres is far more optimal. And if you really want to heal your Pokemon with a supporter, just play Fennel. At the very least, Grisham is better than Jet. But that's like saying Pachirizu's a better Pikachu clone than Togedemaru. So far, I'm underwhelmed by Pitch Black, which should be out on July 16th in TCG Live. While it might seem like a small sample size, don't forget that these 7 new cards represent roughly 9% of what the set will end up being. And if Perfect Order and Chaos Rising are any indication, there will be a lot of filler in the remaining 91%. But I've been wrong about a card once or twice before, so let me know your thoughts on Mega Darkrai in the comments.